Hey YouTubers, I've had a few people ask me how my footage from my SJCAM 5000x Elite looks so good compared to theirs, and that they have a lot of blotchiness issues. So I record with the 5000X in MOV, not MP4. So what I thought I'd do is see a video comparison between MP4 and MOV to see if there's a difference. So let's take a look. Alright, doing a test now of the Sj5000x Elite. We're going to test what the differences are in the file formats, MP4 versus MOV. Just to see if there's a difference in compression quality for the video. I've got both of these cameras side by side, one recording MP4, one recording an MOV. Gyro is off, recording at 1080p at 60 frames a second at high bit rate. So we'll see if there is a video quality difference between the two. So as you can see from the video, there's really no difference between recording an MP4 in an MP4 container or MOV. Now they both have different compression, so what could be going on? Because the video looks good, but I'll tell you a couple of things that I do when I record and when I'm editing SJCAM footage and when I'm exporting it, because maybe that is what the difference is. One thing that we can take a look at right now is just some basics from the difference from MP4 properties to the MOV recording on both of those clips. So the first thing that you're going to notice is on the MP4, it recorded at 29,907 kilobytes per second as the data rate. On the MOV, it recorded 30,175 kilobytes per second. Not a huge difference in the data rate, considering that both of these were recorded in a high bit rate. So I don't see where the difference is there. But one thing that you'll notice is the audio bit rate. The audio on the MP4 was 95 kilobytes per second. The bit rate on the MOV audio was 514 kilobytes per second. So the audio that you heard in the video was actually from the MOV, because it did sound better in MOV than what it did in MP4. And here's the final little note of something to take a look at while you're exporting your footage. So let's say, let's grab this video file here. So if I'm exporting, go to export, the default setting for export is going to be at 10 megabytes a second with a maximum bit rate of 12. The one thing I do when I'm exporting is I match the output target bit rate at whatever that the camera recorded at. So I know a lot of people say that, well, no, you can do a smaller bit rate, which is true with different cameras. But what I found with the SJ camera is you need to, if it recorded at 30 megabytes a second, you need to export that video file after you've done your editing and whatnot. You need to export it at 30 kilobytes a second. Now, Adobe Premiere Pro, its container is going to be the MP4, so that's the compression container it's going to put it in. But I recommend target bit rate. If your video was at 30 megabytes a second, set your target bit rate at 30 megabytes a second, or darn near it. I mean, you can do 29. I try to stick with whatever it was, and then you hit export. Now in this case, it doubled the file size from what it would have been, but that's fine, because now you're not going to have any blotchiness in the video here, and the video is going to be a lot cleaner reproduction of what the original was. Now that's just my opinion, and that's the way that I do it. So at the end of the day, Does it make that big of a difference whether you with the SJCAM if you record an MOV or MP4? Not on the video side. Just my 2 cents on the audio side. I think the audio is a little bit better, cleaner reproduction when you record in an MOV, just because the bit rate on the audio side is a lot higher. When it comes to exporting your footage, unless you're going to take a raw video file straight out of the camera and upload it to YouTube, you know, because YouTube already does this compression anyway. So if you take a video file from an SJCAM, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has something to do with the processor in it or the chip, but if you don't export at a high bit rate and you export it at a lower bit rate than what it was originally recorded, so now you've got, let's say if it was at 10 megabytes per second and you upload it to YouTube, YouTube's going to crush that down to 3, maybe 2, maybe 4, maybe 8, I don't know. But either way, it's going to compress it even further. So now you take a very compressed video file and you're going to compress it even more. And I think that's where a lot of the issues are with people using their SJCAM. So if you're using an SJCAM 5000X or 4000, or you've got the new S6 or the lucky ones that are getting the S7s to test, maybe that's something that you want to try. I know for sure with my 5000X, that's what I have to do to get very good, clean video reproduction to be able to upload. If you look at my earlier videos from 6 months ago, you'll see those SJCAMs where I actually compressed it at 8 megabytes a second, and you'll see how blotchy that they were. And I thought, gosh, what's going on? But it's YouTube. You know, YouTube's compressing, Facebook compresses, everybody compresses the video to whatever that they like to do. So it's up to us to upload it in the highest quality possible, and then they can compress it. So anyway, I hope that was helpful to you guys with SJCAMs. I like the SJCAM. This has been a good camera for me. But anyway, if you found this tip useful, give me a thumbs up. Remember, smash that subscribe button, because that's what it's there for, to see more content. If you have any questions, please post a question down in the comment section, because I always respond to all the comments. And until the next review, have a great day. Bye.